Item. SCP-948. Object Class. Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-948 is contained within Area IE-05. No extra precautions are required for the area beyond standard secrecy and amnestic procedures for a Foundation teaching and research center within a civilian campus. SCP-948 is to be regularly medically examined, with bloodwork taken at least once a month. Where possible, these examinations should occur within Area IE-05, with a focus on allowing SCP-948 freedom to continue speaking. All Area IE-05 staff and students are permitted to enter and exit the Pythagoras Theater freely with use of a timesheet to be posted outside the theater daily. Supervisors are to be assigned on rotation to ensure SCP-948 is monitored at all times, and that no individuals spend excessive amounts of time with the object. SCP-948 should be provided with chalk, markers and other materials as appropriate. This is also the responsibility of the supervisors, with reimbursement of up to €200 per annum allowable from the site's petty cash fund. Description: SCP-948 is Seamus O'Acute Tuathale, a former surgeon in the Mater Hospital, Dublin. SCP-948 has been continuously lecturing on a variety of medical subjects in the Pythagoras Theatre, Trinity College, Dublin, since the 4th of July, 1984. SCP-948 shows an anomalous healing effect, with physically injured subjects introduced to its lecture theater healing if it discusses relevant medical procedures. This healing effect does not seem to be any more effective than traditional medicine, but can offer improvement when used in conjunction. 1. SCP-948 does not display any healing effect with injuries or illnesses it is not familiar with. Beginning the 1st of January 2015, a reading list of textbooks and medical papers has been provided to SCP-948 to keep it up to date with modern medicine, which has shown a marked increase in its healing ability too. SCP-948 also displays a minor secondary calming effect. Many people entering the theater while it is lecturing report feeling refreshed and safe regardless of their previous condition. Prolonged exposure to this effect can lead to short-term dizziness and trouble with fine motor skills. These effects generally only manifest after 12 to 15 hours of continuous exposure to the object, and thus are considered negligible. SCP-948 shows physical signs of extreme emaciation and sleep deprivation, but does not seem to need food, drink or sleep, and commonly refuses them when offered, preferring not to interrupt his lectures. 3. SCP-948 becomes extremely aggravated when removed from the lecture theater or otherwise prevented from lecturing, often requiring restraint. SCP-948 has proven amicable in all other aspects of interaction, allowing medical procedures to go ahead without argument so long as they do not impede his lecturing. Discovery: SCP-948 was brought to the Foundation's attention on the third day of his lecture, what was then believed to be a marathon world record attempt. The building was cleared, and news disseminated that the anomaly had collapsed from exhaustion during the fifth day of lecturing. As 2 Foundation teaching centers were already located within the college at the time, negotiation of a change of department was relatively smooth, and the now permanent Area IE-5 was established around the object.